Dun 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 dun. I just love that. I love it. I never get tired of it. Um, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Hey guys, Claire here. Hello, Ivy here. Thank you for clicking on my channel. uh, okay, okay. Now that I have demonstrated my multiple personality disorder, I am like the Sybil of Sussex friendly spaces. So you got to have friends, but some people don't. Some people don't. And it seems like it's another one of those campaigns rolled out by guess who? Becky the Blob. Becky the Blob has rolled out yet another campaign to try to humanize someone who is, I don't know, kind of like a marble statue or a Stepford wife or a jointed doll in which you hang rags upon. Um, well, they're trying to downplay that side of someone else's personality, but we'll get into it. Thank you for being here, Carol Lunn. Thank you so much for being a member of Royal Sussex. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. Okay, and Mary H is here. Carmen, Lydia Washington. Um, who else is here? Beverly McCaskill. Thank you so much for being here. And a host of friends and others. Let's see here. Uh, uh, uh. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. So, we won't be on that long. I don't think so. But you guys, all right. Um, I have to admit, I did not want to believe that anybody would make up something like, you know, having cancer and all of that. And well, I was trying to be as diplomatic and careful as possible not to assume otherwise, right? But there has been so much evidence as of late, especially when you consider how many times they said, but it's not cancer, it's not cancer. And they really, really, really focused in on that at the very beginning. Like, yes, there has been a surgery, but we do not want to frighten anyone. And do you guys remember I kept saying, it just doesn't make sense to me that they would announce two royal surgeries on the same day within hours? That never made sense unless one was trying to cover for the other. None of that ever made sense. And then this whole fuss about someone trying to access Kate's medical records. Why would you want Kate's medical records? And Charles is king. Charles is the head of state. And then they want us to believe that Iran, who else was it? China, and God, I don't remember who else. Um, Russia, China, Iran. Okay. Yeah, they wanted us to believe that those three nations were trying to destabilize one of the wealthiest countries in the world by prying into Kate Middleton's. I'm sorry, but she's just not that important. She's not that important. And you can tell she's not that important because I am enunciating important. Okay? If I'm pronouncing the T in important, then you know she's not important. Otherwise, I would just say, and she's really not that important. But since I didn't say important, I said important, then you know I mean business, right? So I anyway, that's not how we're going to start off today, just so you know. We got some other stuff to get to first, and then we'll talk about this lack of friendship and how they're trying to gaslight people into seeing things that are not there. Okay. That's why I say revealed. First of all, let's get into the fashions. Let's start off very superficial, shall we? I'm going to open myself up another screen here so I can see the small print. There we go. That would be helpful. I'm so glad they fixed those slides. You know, it's just the little things in life that turn out to be so important, very important, with two T's. Right? Yeah. So I got to stop doing that because I'm going to start messing up. Okay. So on to more important news. Uh let's see, I'm messing around and I lost track of my slides. Okay. There we go. I got it now. We're all good. And so Duchess Meghan doesn't need a power suit when she has this strapless set. Now, you guys, y'all know I love and adore the Duchess of Sussex. But I can't explain to you how surprised I am. Not so surprised, but a little surprised that they were able to identify what she's wearing. You can barely see it. And yet, in the fashion world, this is trending. Why? Because the most influential woman in the world is wearing it. As a matter of fact, um, the most influential royal couple, Harry and Meghan, there's not too much that they can touch that does not trend for days. So she's supported a friend in this eternally chic look. Let me see. The Duchess of Sussex is no longer. Oh, why don't I pull this thing closer? Okay, I'm sorry. There we go. The Duchess of Sussex is no longer to a. I'm sorry, no stranger to a power suit moment. Over the years, Duchess Meghan working style has nearly become synonymous with sophisticated and modern suit silhouettes. From a tailored Altazura blazer or pants to a maroon cashmere suit by Laurel Piana. But as Meghan continues, forget, wait, continues, is something cut off to forge her own path? I think something is cut off, right? Continues to forge her own path as an entrepreneur and philanthrop- philanthropist in California. It's inevitable that her wardrobe will likely follow suit. No? Okay. I still feel like something is cut off. Maybe I shaved that off too close. All right, but never mind. Um so yeah, take a look on the right and you can see the is that Kate? Is that how you pronounce it? Kate or Katie? That's the top. And then there's the Logan Hollowell, which they say has Archie and Lily's names on it. Right there, it looks like it says, I don't know what that says. Call on your name. No, call it. Is that Call on Your Angels? Yeah, Call on Your Angels, something like that. Anyway, that's what I see there. And then on the right is the Aquazura pump. So the top and the bottom comes from Katie or Kate, and then the Aquazura pump. A slingback. There you go. Yeah. So that's what she wore. That is what Meghan wore to the party. I mean, you could barely see it, and it's trending like crazy today. That's powerful. That is powerful. Okay, let's go on to the next thing. Nikki Hannon, thank you for being here. And Juliet Holder Fowler, thank you for being here. And you guys, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That helps to keep the lights on. Hit that thumbs up. We want as much engagement as possible. Hazel Jones, thank you for being here. Okay. And next is, where are we going here next? There we go. One of my favorite illustrations, Harry and Meghan running for their lives. And you can see they escaped the fishbowl, leaving behind the Dusty set. You have Godzilla, Charles, and of course, at the time, Queen Elizabeth was still alive. And of course, Will and Kate, two of the laziest people that have ever drawn a breath. Lazy. And you can see the only ones who have turned their head is Will and Kate because they are thinking of all the work that they will be responsible for now. Also, they're probably looking to see where they're headed to so that whatever hate campaign and whatever conspiracies that they have in mind, they can see which direction they're headed. So, but yeah, there you have it. Love that illustration. Very poignant. Now, of course, as I become more and more dependent on the Ministry of Hacks, you got to hear one of his latest rants. I wonder, did I save that one? I hope so. Don't remember if I did. Morning. I love to hear him say morning. There we go.
Morning, friends. Happy Saturday. And huge news coming out of the UK. Prince Harry is one of only two people that are continuing their legal action against Murdoch Group and The Sun. Everybody else has dropped out of the race. Everyone else has taken a large payoff, if you know what I'm saying. And one of those people that took a large payoff early in the proceedings was actually William. We don't know what the settlement amount is, but the most interesting thing is that Harry's progression to full trial will force the British, not working royal family to reveal the emails between themselves and the Murdoch Group. And the rumours are abound that William actually negotiated a payoff for himself on the basis that he would also convince Harry to drop that legal action, which Harry has not done. Yes, I know it's like something out of the plot of Dallas, but this is the real world in 2024 in the UK. What do those emails between Charles, William, and the Murdoch Group say? Is there incriminating evidence in those emails from William saying, yeah, don't worry, we'll get everyone on board, including Harry? Just pay me off and we'll see what happens. Well, do you know what, William? Your plan has failed because Harry is going to court. And the public like us will see, may see, more evidence of what the royal family are really like and the deals they're prepared to make to save themselves. Lastly, huge thank you to Zandy Sussex over on X Twitter. Go and follow her for setting us up with the commentary and the images. Have a brilliant Saturday, guys. I'm off to yoga. That's why I look a bit invisible.
Okay. So, yes, he's wearing all black on that black background. So that's why he says he looks a bit invisible. But I think we can see him. Anyway, that was, and yes, big thanks to Zandy Sussex, who, along with SK and a few other people, have done some extraordinary police work for us, detective work. Um, it's just incredible. Muriel, who can find stuff. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable how they can find stuff that no one else can find. So it makes our job so much easier. And then, of course, as you know, I keep receipts, a ton of receipts, because you never know when you're going to need it. It helps to bring it all together, make a more cohesive story, right? So, okay, let me see who else is here. Antoinette Kennedy, are you here? I think so. Judy Matasit, thank you so much for being here. So, as the Ministry of Hacks was saying, it seems as though, I mean, I think we are pretty clear that William cut some kind of deal with the tabloids. And part of his deal, and I believe part of whatever invisible contract that Charles and Camilla have, it included Harry dropping his complaint. Now, I could imagine that there's more to the complaints than, what's on the surface. Um, but as far as what was the breaking point, it was because Harry was upset about some leaks that occurred, especially when Dan Wooten began acting like some type of uh, sheriff, giving the Sussexes 10 days to tell the world that they're stepping down from official royal duty. At the time, they were still in negotiation. And what was particularly painful, I'm sure, for Harry is the fact that there was this big lie from the tabloids. I mean, it was front page. He didn't even tell the Queen. How could they? This is the worst thing since the abdication. I mean, they really, really, really twisted the handle of the knife on Harry and Meghan as though they were elder abusing Queen Elizabeth II, not the son who had to shake his mama down for 12 million pounds or more to pay to someone he never met for something he didn't do. No, that didn't bother her too much. Or being forced to accept Camilla, the queen consort, or at the time the Duchess of Cornwall. Um, it could not have been thrilling to Queen Elizabeth to leave the kingdom, to give the keys to the kingdom to her adulterous son and his side piece, right? And then, no doubt, that the man who forced her to buy a 8 million pound helicopter, William, she had to know how ridiculous he was, how ill suited he was, considering the Queen leaned heavily on Harry to go on these foreign tours, stuff that his brother should have been doing. Just think of all of the places that Harry has gone. It's not like these tours that say, oh, the Princess Royal. Um, yeah, it's not like that. It's not like Afro Annie's tours. Barely a ripple. When Harry traveled, it was bigger than the Queen showing up. It really was. It was the biggest thing to any place that he visited. And so that should have been Will and Kate. But early on, people realized that they barely made an impact. They barely made an impact. Carol Malone, the one who said that Charles doesn't have cancer, Carol Malone said that you couldn't cobble a personality. No, she said if you put Will and Kate together, you could not cobble together a single personality. That's how bad it was. Zero excitement and no enthusiasm, just boring. Boring. I mean, put the B in boring. Boring. So, anyway, as I was saying, William likely cut a deal for, I thought it was £1 million or more. And along with that, not only did he get some money to go in his pocket, but he also was able to get the press to leave him alone. Instead of pointing out how lazy he is, they turned their sights to Harry and Meghan with a special, I guess, attack mode for Meghan, right? They went completely ham on Meghan. We know that. And of course, Kate. Leave Kate alone. So Kate has become the standard bearer for the family. Oh, Kate is the royal family's secret weapon. Of course, at some point, everybody's the royal family's secret weapon. But whatever, Kate particularly was protected. So I hope that the information that Harry has available to him will expose this. Now, some people were saying that even someone here asked, well, what if they just destroy those records or destroy the emails or whatever? I'm hoping that there is evidence that there's already some evidence available to David Sherborne. Maybe he has something up his sleeve that they don't really know about or whatever. I'm just hoping for that big, court drama moment where it's like, what about this? Huh? That kind of thing. So, but there's ways of doing some, forensic deep diving, because otherwise, I mean, I would imagine that the parties involved would have to change their emails to permanently get rid of things, but then again, it's like you just hope that this stuff is on a server somewhere. Once you put it out there into digital space, there's no such thing as impossible to find. It's always out there. So if you use the server that is not your own and the other person likewise is using a public server, then there's always an excellent chance, I believe, that they can find that information. I hope they do. I really hope they do. I would love to see that rotten institution exposed. All right, let's go to the next one. King tried to block Prince Harry from suing Sun publisher. Court hears Prince Harry to argue at January trial that his father acted to discourage him from pursuing legal action against news group newspapers. Yeah. If you all remember, Harry was told, you need to drop this, otherwise there would be consequences. He did not. And next thing you know, they lost their security. And there was an agreement for 1 year of allowance to the Sussexes. And then they would do that review after a year's time to decide whether or not they were going to stay away from the institution and make it on their own, or are you coming back? Now, that was part of the Sandringham Agreement. There was the royal protection, and there was also the allowance. There was their money from Charles. And at some point, the security told Harry, we've been called back. We have been called back. We're leaving Monday or something like that. And they abandoned the Sussexes in Canada, just like that. And also, no money for you. And it was great timing because the house that they purchased in California, they got it at a bargain, about half the price that they had been asking for. And let us not forget the contribution of Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry provided security, a private jet, and a mansion to live in until they could sort things out. There was no pressure to leave. Stay as long as you like. And fortunately for them, it took them about another 6 weeks to find their palatial mansion that they live in today. And of course, that is located in Montecito. And as they say in Montecito, there are no leaks. There are no leaks in Montecito. So, yeah, it has been onward and upward ever since. I'm so glad for them. That was, could you imagine? I mean, I know you hear this all the time, right? But could you imagine a father stripping security away from his grandchild, his daughter in law, and his son, and their unborn child? That is wicked, maddening. And yet, that's exactly what happened. Unbelievable. There's our Duchess. One of the squatties. I don't know how they made this little angle like this, but I love it. I love it. Looks like something that I should have over my sofa. But yeah, very cool. All right. So, Meg's jam plan. Lonely Meghan Markle major charm offensive to get Kate Middleton and Victoria Beckham back on her side with luxury gifts. You look at there. Where's the date at? November 13th, 2024. I'm just like, where did that come from? Scheming Meghan? Obviously that is from the Sun, but lonely Meghan Markle major charm offensive to get Kate Middleton and Victoria Beckham back on her side with luxury gifts. Yeah, I have nothing to say to that right now. Move on. And then there's this. Meghan loses friends. Moaning Meghan upset everyone and lost all her allies, including Hugo Vickers. Who the hell was Hugo Vickers to Meghan in the first place? Who was Hugo Vickers to Meghan? When was Hugo Vickers on her side? Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. But I'd like to know, when was Hugo Vickers on her side? So right there, it says, friends to foes, moaning Meghan Markle has upset everybody and lost nearly all her allies, including me, royal expert says. The fact that you're a royal expert means you're probably not a friend in the first place. And it says, scroll down and read why Hugo Vickers thinks Meghan Markle was particularly committed to being in the royal family. She was. She was. She joined the Anglican Church, right? Instead of the very sensible wedding that she wanted, she was actually coerced into this much larger, extravagant thing because that's what was expected, right? We all know that's what was expected. I don't think Harry particularly wanted to bother. I don't think she really wanted to bother. As they said, the best moment of the entire wedding was when they read their vows to each other a few days before the wedding, which was necessary because this is the part that they leave out when people doubt Harry and Meghan about those vows. How many royal weddings have you ever seen before theirs where there were snipers on the rooftop? Where they had snipers on the rooftop? Because no doubt, and the public does not have access to it, but no doubt there were the type of threats made against Harry and Meghan, Harry the race trader, Meghan the black woman. There were doubts, like not doubts, but there were threats against them that would keep you up at night. I know, I know. Um, I come from a city that had a prominent black mayor, and that black mayor back in the 1980s received the type of death threats like you could not expect. And we all know that Barack and Michelle Obama, no president had ever received the type of threats that Obama received. They had people in some of those smaller communities on the fringes of the safety perimeter. There would be people with their rifles because they have state rights, because of their state rights. They would walk around with their guns to remind the black president to stay in your place, that you're in our neck of the woods. So everything that they say, well, we've all been through it. We've all been through it. You could multiply that times 10 or more for everything that Meghan has been through. You could multiply it because it was just that persistent. It was just that sinister. And what's very different when a person of color is threatened in such a manner, whereas otherwise people would tend to try to hide their identities, they tend to be very open about their intentions when it comes to somebody black. Have you guys ever noticed that before? They seem to be very, very open to their intentions. They don't hide it because they feel like amongst their own, they should not have to. They will not do it because they just assume everyone's in agreement. So it's those kind of things that let you know that there was an intense security risk for the Duchess of Sussex, and it continues to be. So much so, that's why Harry will not bring her back over there. So when you see these talking heads that are supposed to be so intelligent on TV, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know this. But again, representation matters. I wouldn't expect anything less from reporters that seem to uphold an institution that seems perfectly suited to uphold white supremacy and nationalism, because that's what the royal family's main purpose appears to be, is that of upholding nationalism, white nationalism, the EDL and such. That seems to be the little quiet part that they don't speak loudly about, but we all know it's true. It's not hard to find that information. You even had the guy from that Neil, whatever his name was, that was the chief of the anti-terrorism. Never seen anything like it. more than I had ever experienced in life. But they want to gaslight you into believing that Meghan just didn't understand our ways. She just didn't understand what was required. And then all of a sudden, somebody compared her newborn child to a chimpanzee. Someone sent a PayPal. Thank you very much. By the way, you guys, I gave PayPal a piece of my mind. RS, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I gave them a piece of my mind because they have made this app deliberately confusing as of October. And I told the guy, I was like, listen, don't answer. I said, but I'm sure I'm not the first person that have complained about this. I didn't want to get him in trouble. Esmeralda Dylan, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member and for being here. Greatly appreciated. Happy Saturday to you, or Sunday. So, riddle me this. I've tried. If Meghan is so keen on getting close to Victoria Beckham, how come I could not find one single photo of Meghan and Victoria Beckham together? And then I said, wait a minute. If they're preoccupied with Meghan wanting to be close to Victoria Beckham and Kate Middleton, surely there is a photo of Kate and Victoria together. I could not find one. Now, I cannot say, for certain it does not exist. I could not find a photo of Victoria Beckham and Meghan. I couldn't find a photo of Victoria Beckham and Kate. I don't particularly think that Kate or Victoria Beckham are what we call girls, right? Now, I don't know that much about Victoria Beckham, but she seems to be put off with most women. And Kate, for certain, Kate does not tolerate other women in her orbit. We know this. There has been a long standing tradition of Kate avoiding being around other women. Yeah, of course not. So they keep this thing up about the Beckhams rejecting the Sussexes. There was never that type of friendship. I'm sure that Harry, over time, David Beckham and his celebrity, I'm sure they've crossed paths many times. Although I didn't even really care to look that up. What I was concerned about was this idea that Meghan is desperate to be around Victoria Beckham. And then, of course, the shocking idea that somehow Meghan would want to be around Kate Middleton. For what? Kate has already um, told her who she was, right? If Meghan hadn't figured it out back then there's nothing to figure out today. They could not be close to each other. And of course, I put that on Kate because Meghan is a girl's girl. Meghan is all about women's empowerment. And maybe that's what is so off-putting to Kate is the idea that there's this empowered woman that is, so well spoken and not to mention beautiful and always seems to garner all of the attention in the room, right? As Harry said, I peered around the corner And I saw her and I realized immediately I had to up my game because he knew he wasn't, dealing with somebody from here and there and such, that this is the one or could be the one at that point. So he had to up his game. Let me see. Meghan has many friends and has no. Yeah, of course not. She don't need those people. Never did. Meghan still has plenty friends over in the UK. If Kitty and Victoria were friends, she would dress. Ah, amen to that. Absolutely. If they were friends, she would definitely dress better. So yeah, I just can we look at that again? Can we? I mean, I know we should not be surprised. Moaning Meghan upset everyone and lost all her allies, including me, Hugo Vickers. And then let's go back to the other one. Lonely Lonely Meghan Markle's major charm offensive to get Kate Middleton and Victoria Beckham back on her side with luxury gifts. As if Meghan is going to put together these gift bags. Oh, please be my friend. Please. Yes, I'm living out here with the rich and famous. Oprah's my neighbor. Ellen's my neighbor. I routinely hang out with the programming person at the Netflix with Tim Robinson and his wife. Yeah. All of these, A-listers and VIPs, but nothing is going to set right for Meghan if she doesn't go crawling back over there and try to be friends with Kitty. And of course, I would advise Meghan, if you ever decide to try to get close to her, you better try to make sure you got subtitles. Got to make sure you have subtitles. You'll never understand her. So let me see. Yeah, they just have to ask for jam if that's what they want. So I thought about it because if you take a look here, there is a friend of Kate's that we were able to identify back in May of 2024. I don't know how I missed this. But back in May of 2024, Princess Kate's old school friend will offer adult parties on the high seas as her firm Killing Kittens launches its first ever cruise. Well, I was impressed with the fact that they threw Kitty in there. That kind of sneaks up on you, don't it? Killing kittens is launching its first cruise, which will set sail from Barcelona in June 2026. How about that? And what a coincidence. As we know, Kate used to work on the high seas, and she wasn't a pirate either. And now, what a coincidence that Killing Kittens is launching their parties on the high seas. As they say, it's all coming full circle, isn't it? It all seems to be coming full circle. And of course, that article is still out there, Forging of a Princess. And you know this was nothing but shade, don't you? Daily Mail was still in the business of being shady back in those days. Forging a Princess. The corporate clients loved her especially the way she always seemed to be showing off her slender legs in tight blue shorts as she served gin and tonic and lunch. Yeah, she was just serving gin and tonic and lunch. She was working as a deckhand on a 72-foot sailing boat in the Solent, looking after important clients from mighty companies such as Barclays, BT, I believe that's British Petroleum, Nokia, Toshiba, and Volkswagen. The year was 2001, and everyone referred to the tall, slim girl earning 40 pounds a day as Beautiful Kate. How about that? See what I'm saying? It's like a full circle moment. And not that it was important, but can you believe that was her mom? That's right. That is Carol Middleton right there. Carol Goldsmith, Carol Middleton. Down to earth, Kate's mother, Carol, spent her early years in a council flat. Well, she's come a long way, hasn't she? She's gone all the way up to the heights of the social ladder by being invited to things like the Queen's funeral, Royal Ascot, bankruptcy court. Bankruptcy court. Anyway, she's come a long way from that council flat. Wasn't there a 007 movie about the Middleton family? Gold diggers, right? I think Shirley Bassey sang that song. Gold diggers. They're the ones with the touch, the magic touch. Gold diggers. Yes, I think that was the name of the movie, was Gold Diggers. Anyway. Bro Heaney, it was just sandwiches and beer or something. She was just passing out some meals. She was dishing out those meals for those corporate clients, which included Barclays, BT, Nokia, Toshiba, and Volkswagen. That's all. Nothing else to it, I'm sure. There was nothing uncertain. There was nothing uncertain going. Anyway, it's a full circle moment. So if anybody says Kate doesn't have friends, she doesn't have friends now, but she used to have friends. And one of her friends just happens to be the purveyor of some of the best nookie on the high seas, some of the best adult entertainment on the high seas, starting from Barcelona in June of 2026. That's all. So I can tell you that so often you see the derangers referring to our Duchess as the yacht girl. But this is the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail still has that article saying who used to work on a yacht. But they don't care about that. Meghan was not the one working on a yacht. Back in those days, Meghan was working as an actress, having graduated from university with a double major, having worked at the U.S. Embassy in Argentina, a calligrapher. So take a look at this sweet sisterly gesture that shows Sophie Wessex has become Kate's wing woman. Oh, really? And as Rebecca English, I told you the gatekeeper, Rebecca English is the one who sets the pace for the rest of the Royal Rota, in case you don't know. And as Rebecca English reveals, a source of strength during cancer treatment. Are we still maintaining that there was cancer treatment? They're still maintaining. This is a new article. They're still maintaining the party line, cancer treatment. Now, whether it was or it was not, I guess we'll never know. But it seems to be a lot of questions as to what kind of treatment was it. You know, they never told us what kind of cancer it was, right? Just in case you forgot, they will not tell you what the cancer was. All we know is that on January 17th, there was a surgery that wasn't an emergency, but it seemed to be an emergency surgery for what wasn't cancer. It was an abdominal surgery. But they stressed the fact that it was not cancer. And so it seems as though they waited all the way until March the 22nd to tell us that it was cancer or cancer had been found. Let me get this right, because they used a lot of word salad to explain it, but cancer had been found, cancer cells. And so Kate received a preventative cancer treatment. This is why there's so much confusion. And yet they try to blame other people for this mysterious period of time in the royal calendar. On the royal calendar, where Kate seemed to have disappeared for 6 months. There is nothing normal about that. Nothing is normal about that. Nothing explains a 6 months absence. In modern times, no royal is supposed to disappear that long unless Queen Elizabeth had them institutionalized like her two cousins. That just doesn't happen. And they still have not given a reasonable explanation. And so now, out of desperation, because Meghan has been out and about looking absolutely beautiful, and her usual girl friendly, tactile, supportive self, they want to create this narrative, courtesy of Rebecca English, of how Kate and Sophie Edinburgh, whatever she is now, how she and Ford Fiesta are so close. They are not. They are not. Kate is not close to any woman, especially Sophie, who likes to get all up in William's face, giggling and laughing like he's going to make sure that her son becomes the Duke of Edinburgh. This is all made up. And it came out today just to try to make it seem like there's something about Kate. You know, Kate was supposed to be the new Princess Diana. That didn't work out. Kate was supposed to be the new Kate. That didn't work out either. It's not clear who she's supposed to be. She barely has enough personality to be anybody. But we do know that she's a mean girl. This is all created to try to take the shine off of Meghan. It's not going to work, of course, because it will only be the Daily Mail with this one. I doubt if any, well, and that's where Rebecca English works. I doubt if all the other tabloids are going to push this narrative about Kate and Sophie Wessex. There's no evidence. I'm trying to think of how many times that they have gone on a royal engagement, just the two of them. I cannot think of one. Appearing together at Royal Ascot is not going on an engagement together. I've seen Kate with the Queen. I've seen Kate with Afro Annie. And of course, William. But who else? I don't know that they've ever been paired up to do anything together that the whole family was not in on. And so now you want us to believe that in their spare time, they hang out, they call each other. Kate calls her mama, the co-conspirator, as I call her. She calls her mama. She might probably calls her sister. And when they're running low on dog food, she probably calls her brother. But other than that, she does not have any friends, y'all. I don't care how much they try to pretend, she has no friends. This is what they're trying to make us believe, is that Kate has all of these girlfriends that are just so fascinated with her and look up to her and has so much respect for her. It does not exist. There are no recorded moments like this for Kate. Not one. Not one. And this idea of protocol and all that kind of stuff, she embraces a stranger in the crowds more often than you've ever seen her embrace Sophie Wessex, meaning never. And Meghan didn't take any pictures. She didn't bring a film crew. She didn't ask for this. She was just there at the party. She was supporting a friend. She has invested in her friend's vision for hair care. Who does Kate support? Nobody. There is no this for Kate. This does not exist. All of this stopped when she married William. It's actually really sad. To be honest with you, it's really sad. They said whatever personality she had, they stripped it away from her. Whatever personality she had has been stripped away from her. And now they're trying to superimpose this robotic like figure as, oh, just like Meghan Markle. I said back in December, do not worry. All of this engagements and stuff like that, the all for one for all, and the new Fab Four, I did not believe it was sustainable. I did not predict the surgery, but I knew that Kate was not going to be good for the long haul, pretending to be somebody she's not. They're trying to use Meghan as the template for the perfect princess, but you cannot turn Kate into Meghan. You're not going to make her very Meghan-ish. She just doesn't have it. They should have left well enough alone. And pretty soon in these court records, we may find out exactly what language was used to push Harry and Meghan out of the nest. Pretty soon we may find that out. But look at that. This is all organic. And if they wanted Meghan to stop being this person, I'm so glad they left from over there. And the other thing is, and Claire Kane spoke about that today, about this, I think it was today, or either that or she had someone else's video or something like that, or both. I think it was both, about how William was moaning and whinging about the troubles that he's been through. And it just so happens to be in South Africa. And I have to admit, I did not catch that. I did not catch that. I did not associate that with Meghan's real, authentic pain compared to William trying to get people to stop looking at the slumlord story. But how ironic. William goes to South Africa. A reporter gives him some questions, which, of course, can include anything except for, real life stuff. And so he asked him about his family, and, oh, well, it's been a rough year. Everything that happened with William in South Africa was about William. It had very little to do with the actual Earthshot. I don't think I've seen one photo of any recipient of the Earthshot. Not one. All I have seen is William, the ghost of Sylvester, Winnie, what's her name, Heidi, I don't know what this about, Klum, um, and Steve Irwin's son. That's all I got out of the South Africa. The only thing I know about South Africa is the ghost of Sylvester was there. I don't know why. Winnie, what's her name? Because you really do need a fashion model in order to make an environmental program work. And also Heidi Klum. Again, you probably need two fashion models to make sense out of that. The only thing that you didn't have was anyone else on that stage except for Steve Irwin's son, who I imagine is into environmental things. But the rest of them, they were just like, check, please. Check, please. YM George says you should compare that to the pic of Kate and Rose at the bingo night party at the old age home. The alleged rave. I remember that where she looked like Camilla Tominey. Yes, she did. She looked just like Camilla Tominey. Yeah, let me see if I can find that for everyone. Let me see. Kate Middleton rave party. Okay, I got it. You know what? I think when I make too loud of a sound, that knocks the sound out. I really do believe that. I think when I make like a big loud sound, that's when the sound goes out. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have the volume up as high as it can go. So I still have not worked that out yet. But there you go. That is Kate at a rave party. So they say. I think it's mostly just some pensioners with titles that were excited to see Kate. Look how excited they are compared to Meghan's friends. Here, here. Okay. Let us continue. So, speaking of friends, since they're trying to make this close friendship with Sophie Edinburgh, I just want you to see how much Sophie loves Kate Middleton. When nobody's looking, Sophie never seems really happy around Kate, does she? She always seems like she's in contemplation, knowing that for the rest of her life, she's going to be walking a few paces behind someone who, you know, aside from being married to William, probably wouldn't have ever achieved much on her own. Someone who never worked before she married into the family, although she was what, 30 years old when she married into the family, had never worked. Well, we can't forget about the yacht that was 40 pounds a day. Um, Someone who learned some tricks of the trade for her family by hanging out at parties with Sir Richard Branson, if I recall. But yeah, she looks so sad. And this was around that time when people thought she would never become a duchess. And even after she became a duchess, she still doesn't seem very happy. But, I love this photo. I love this because you can see the sadness in her wicked eyes as she glances over to Kate. You can see Kate in the mirror right there to the left. I don't know who took this picture, but I would build a shrine to them if I knew who took this photo. But look at her, just as sad and pathetic. She and Edward had all these ambitions about how they were going to make a way for themselves in this world, and now they're just stuck walking behind Will and Kate. Walking behind Will and Kate forever. And of course, they're going to be dependent on Will and Kate, or William for that matter. They're going to be dependent on William financially forever. They're both some very sad figures. You see there? This is the other thing that they're trying to do. Royal romance, Kate Middleton and Prince William, love story from their sweetest PDAs to looks of love on the day they celebrate their engagement anniversary. How lovely. Seriously, folks, seriously. Again, they are trying to roll out this loving, romantic couple. And of course, Kate, who is so dependent upon Sophie, that this somehow makes the whole thing complete. Instead of Sophie hopping into her car and traveling with the motorcade to who knows where, they never said where she was headed to when they ran over that old lady. And Edwina, we don't know where she goes. And then, of course, William and his helicopter Uber service, and Kate, who rarely goes more than 15 miles outside of the perimeter of Adelaide Cottage. She rarely does anything outside of that 15 miles. On the surface, they may look like a loving, supportive family. I'm just kidding. Even on the surface, you don't see that. But that's what they want to try to make people believe. I guess you could say they want people to believe that William and Kate is Harry and Meghan. They want people to believe that Kate has all of these friends that call upon her. Girl, come on, let's go get some ice cream today. That kind of thing. It does not exist. If it did exist, somebody somewhere with a phone would have taken a picture of it. But it does not exist because aside from the children and possibly a school run and being with a mother, she doesn't have anything else. Especially since Thomas Kingston is gone. Not that there was anything to that. I'm just saying since Thomas Kingston is gone, she's probably really you know, doesn't have any friends. So but yeah, there you go. They're trying to gaslight the public. Will and Kate PDAs. Kate has the support of Sophie. Meghan doesn't have any friends. Meghan wants desperately to be friends with Kate and that Beckham chick. I still don't get that one. See there? Other dukes push their own agendas. Edward and a spare who just gets on with it. They keep using these two people to try to, I guess, yeah, they're the antidote to that cautionary tale of this is what happened when you leave the firm. Everything you do is going to fail. You could stay and toe the line like Edward and Sophie, or you could go out into the greater world, into the wider world, as they say, and have everybody against you, like Harry and Meghan. That's the narrative. Um, but everything that Harry and Meghan has is what Sophie and Edward wanted. Do you know that? Sophie meant to stay at her firm. What was she doing? Advertising? Edward wanted to be a producer. He wanted to make films. And they both were complete failures. And look at how much stuff the Sussexes have done. Just look at that. And this is not even all of it. They've done so much since that whoever the squatty was that made this collage. There's so much more to them. They have done so much more. Take a look there. Let me see. Make that bigger. TechCrunch. Meghan Markle is expanding her consumer portfolio. Meghan Markle is expanding her consumer portfolio. InStyle reported yesterday that Meghan Markle is an investor in the hair and wellness company Highbrow Hippie, founded by her colorist Katie Lee and Mika Harris. The company was announcing the launch of their new hair care line, and Meghan told the outlet that she was proud to invest in her as a friend and as a female founder. Again, girl power. Women helping women. More and more news has been spreading about Meghan's growing investment portfolio. In August, she spoke to the New York Times about her investment in the breakfast bag company. I'm sorry, not breakfast. Her investment in the basket bag. That is Say that 3 times fast. Basket bag, basket bag, basket bag. The basket bag company Sesta Collectives and said there were between 5 to 10 brands in her portfolio. Her first investment was an instant vegan latte company, Clever Blends, back in 2020. So this is what Meghan's been doing. Now, they say between 5 to 10 brands in her portfolio, meaning, of course, there must be some stuff in there we don't know about, and that's fine. I want the Sussexes to very quietly creep into the billionaire status. I'm looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, when that happens, I won't sing anything bluer than zippity doo dah. The tabloids also caught her at the G9 summit, summer summit, G9 summer summit this year, which is put on annually by the firm's founder, Amy Griffin. Her own company, American Riviera Orchard, is expected to launch soon. Investing in them has helped me line up for this chapter where I'm investing in myself, Meghan told the New York Times, adding that she sees her investment strategy as a dolphin tank rather than a shark tank. These are friendly waters, she said. So that's what Meghan's doing. She's not thinking about um, that Beckham chick. She ain't thinking about Kate. God knows she ain't thinking about her. She has her family, and she has her business, and she has, of course, her philanthropy. There's Archwell Productions, Archwell Foundation, and there's family, and of course her friends that are family. That is what she's focused on. All that other stuff, they make it seem as though Meghan doesn't do anything all day, but run around screaming at people and all that kind of stuff. She mostly works from her home, as far as we know. Whoever works for them are stationed in Hollywood somewhere. She has her 2 children there, right? She has her mom to care for, as well as the dogs and the chicken and all that kind of stuff. So she's got plenty of stuff to keep her busy. All that other stuff that they're saying is just a bunch of nonsense. It's good for clickbait, but it's also embarrassing for the firm because these things only make them look bad. It only makes them look bad. It only makes them seem petty and insecure. And no matter what they do, they're not going to bury this idea of Willie the slumlord. And they're not going to bury this idea that Charles and William have been taking in millions of pounds, money that they should not necessarily have access to. They're charging charities, they're charging the government, and especially the fact that they charged a hospice. Charles shook down a hospice for money. That is disgusting. Now, of course, you know I like to be fair, and it's been a while since I've done this. I am going to reach out to Kensington Palace because it's only fair for other people to defend themselves, especially since this is the anniversary of their engagement. Then we really do need to reach out to Kensington Palace. Kate?
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously on to this day, and, you know, going forward and things. You know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and, you know, very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Oh boy, I tell you, she had rehearsed Marianne Williams so much that no matter what she says, she always ended it with, I do. I do. If you ask her anything, whatever she mutters out of her mouth always ends with "I do," because she was practicing for the wedding. Because for 10 years that was the goal. 10 years of stalking William, following him around and everything, leaving one school and going to the other, was for that ultimate moment when she says, "I do." So it's not surprising that anything you say, anything you ask her, she's going to end it with "I do." I wonder if she still does that. It's kind of like a little tick or something like that. But anyway, I do. Force a habit. I think they call it force a habit. I do. I do. So I have a couple of these I want to play for you. It's like who put this together? I forgot. But somebody put all of these in the same tweet. So let's listen to these and discuss it on the other side. Or maybe I'll interrupt in between. Let me see. Am I almost done? Yeah, I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
The world's taking
Well, do you think we should have? It sounds harsh, but just get rid of the monarchy.
I think we need a revolution personally. Not getting rid of them. I think having Meghan should lead, and we should get rid of all the honesty.
Now, in case you missed that, he said, "I believe that Harry and Meghan should lead." I wasn't sure. I thought maybe he said something else, but you listen and you'll see that he meant exactly what he said.
Links to politicians. Full stop.
We should get
Even all your links.
Yeah, yeah. So you want everyone to be elected, basically. With you. Yeah, because I mean, arguably, you elect people, it doesn't make them any better.
Also, to get rid of Harry and Meghan, I think they fairly much got rid of them.
But did you want Harry and Meghan back, Nathan, or do you want to get rid of them again?
No, I want Harry and Meghan to take over from Prince Charles King Charles and William.
So this would be like the late 70s when we had punk.
Let's have an elected
punk rock.
head. Let's have an elected head. We are a talented nation. We have amazing people in this country.
America's talented. Look what they've got.
But no, this is a completely different model.
No, I don't think people want to be in public life anymore.
No, that's not true.
Talented people.
I think, and if they want the royals, they can stand for election and they can beat Joanna Lumley, who I think would make a wonderful president, and become president.
Okay. Well, then Lumley's in the mix now. I can live with that.
Well,
Yes, see?
sounds like you.
Okay.
Harry is no longer in this country, which is sad not only for them but for our readers who love this man. I mean, he was the most popular member of the royal family. He was so exciting to work with him, and I can't tell you. You'd go on tour with him, and every day there would be great pictures, and he would really go out of his way to help you and chat to you. One day he made me a cup of tea. Another day he came and had a drink with us all down on the beach. I mean, he was just an exciting young man. And to support his brother, we thought he would be doing it for the rest of his life. I can't believe this has happened.
Were you able to form any sort of relationship with Meghan when she came on the scene? Was there awareness of, her job, her duty, and the role you guys had to play as photographers?
The first year, I thought she was sensational. I did lots of trips with her. I went to Morocco and I went to all around the Britain, Ireland. And she was great, but 4 times I asked the palace, or maybe 3 times I asked the palace, if we, as a media group, could meet Meghan, and it never happened. And I think if we had met her, and if she'd have met us, things might have been different. It might see that we're human and she's human. Unfortunately, she did get some bad press, and that was a mistake. But we asked for forgiveness and please come back because. This is a great country and the royal family are very important to us all. And the Queen needs your support, Harry, because You know, William can't do it all. Catherine can't do it all. The Prince of Wales is taken on the Queen's role now, so he's even more busy. So, you know, Harry's badly needed here. And I hope in March, which he's got till March to rethink it, he comes back.
Definitely. Violins.
Enormously appealing to the public.
By the way, this is Tina Brown's voice that you're hearing.
Enormously appealing to the public, and who are very good at it. We're out there in Nigeria sort of looking really attractive and being, you know, appealing people. And what a pity it is, they've gone. There is a kind of Harry-shaped hole in the monarchy at this time when they're in such sort of beleaguered circumstances.
Do you think the rift's permanent?
It might be, because things tend to get more and more ossified, you know, like they did with the Windsors. But I think we needed Harry and Meghan. And I think, unfortunately, what's come to pass with the cancer diagnosis and things shows just how depleted the family is and how much it needs all its stalwarts. So I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. I hope it does, you know, mend. Enormously appealing.
Okay, one more. I don't know who that guy is, but
Meghan with a super stardust, which is why people like you are so peeved.
oh, okay. So that's Tessa Dunlap talking to whoever this guy is.
Meghan with a super stardust, which is why people like you are so peeved. Because she turns up back on Britain. I understand we can sort out some counselling for you, Catherine. You know, you will recover from this. You will recover from this.
Why don't she come back to the UK and wave to us all?
Because she thinks people like her when they come, they're going to be all.
Well, I'm entitled to a view. And so are you. You're entitled to a view, but that shouldn't stop her coming out and giving her views to our country.
Meghan with a super stardust.
Okay, I'm sorry the sound quality was pretty bad, but hopefully you could understand what they were saying. All of it was, we need Harry and Meghan. We need Harry and Meghan. There's been too much said and too much done. Meghan's never coming back. And as for Harry, Harry's not coming back either. It's over with. They offered to half in, half out, and it seemed like a bad idea to the firm at the time. Harry really wanted to be available for his grandmother. I don't think the rest of the family really figured into that, but in particular his grandmother, who he adored. But as for the rest of them, it seems like it's been quite easy for him to just stay away. Lex says, before there wasn't a place for Harry and Meghan in the slim down monarchy. Remember, someone took their pick off the QE2 mantle. They needed to stop harassing them. Hear, hear. Oh, yes, I remember that. They took their picture away. Exactly. There was no room for Harry and Meghan in that slim down monarchy. That's true. That is true. And as we have found out during that period of time, it seemed like Charles had installed the courtiers of choice for the Queen, got rid of all of the old guard that she had. And so all of those little decisions, like, you know, what do we highlight, whose picture goes where, I'm pretty sure that that was from the courtiers that Charles hand selected for the Queen. I don't think the Queen had much say in those last few years. There has been increasing evidence that the Queen was pretty much tolerated, but nobody really listened to her. Anything that she said was filtered through the bee, the fly, and the wasp. And she did not have much say about anything, not even where she spent the night. They moved her about wherever they wanted her to go. The Queen didn't even want to die in Balmoral. She wanted to go home. She wanted to be in London. She didn't want it to be, as according to them, she didn't want there to be any great fuss. But by September, the Queen would have already gone back to London. So they kept her there well past the usual dates that she would visit Balmoral. The Queen would not have been up in there in September but that's where Charles wanted her to be. So thank you again, Lex, for the super chat. Now, let's wind this up. I am almost done. I covered up the identity of this individual who was on someone's timeline trying to imply that the trip to Canada, Meghan didn't use her own hair. They were trying to imply that Meghan purchased one of those beanies with the wig sewn into it. I know. I know. So I'm pretty sure that person doesn't watch Royal Sussex, but on the odd chance that they do, please observe the very natural hairline and that beautiful, glossy, silky hair. And also, let me tell you this too. Katie Lee actually selected these photos at the time for her Instagram. Yeah, I found that out today. When I thought about Meghan's hair and hair product, these were the photos that I went to first, were the ones from Canada. And just by coincidence, the hairstylist months ago when they went to Canada, she was celebrating and promoting the fact that she had done Meghan's hair for that trip, and she used the exact same photos. So there you go. But yeah, so if there's anyone who thinks, oh, Meghan just, no, she didn't. That was her hair. That was her hair. Again, that was her hair. One more time. That was Meghan's hair. And this, of course, is Meghan's hair. So I don't know what's in that hair serum, but it must be something really good because look at the results. Look at the results. Must be an awesome product. And with that, you guys, guess what? I am done. I am so done. Yes, always fabulous. Oh, they want their meal ticket back. Clearly they do. Oh, you've ordered it. Ah, very cool. I hope it's everything you want it to be. All right. Good night, all. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And thank you all, the moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And thank you to Joan Lawman, Esmeralda Dillon, YM Droid, and Legs for the super chat and super stickers. And thank you, RS, for the PayPal. All right. Let us say goodnight, and I will see you all tomorrow. I don't know if the Lady Sussex is going to be on tomorrow. I hope so, but no pressure because she has some other things going on. So only if it's possible. I hope that she'll be on tomorrow. You know, I got so confused today because I thought it was Sunday. I was actually like, where's Lady Sussex? She should be on by now. I got confused. I didn't realize it was still Saturday. So, all righty then. And we're good. Thank you, baby sister. Okay. Cue the Ginger Avenger.